Do you know what happens when a lowland gorilla stand-up comedian, a functioning alcoholic impressionist, and geeky tech nerd pro wrestler get together? You get the Conte and Kenny Show. And AIDS, probably.
Monday nights, the clock strikes 7. Conte and Kenny, humor's heaven. On 100 proof, YouTube's delight. Tune in, we promise it's pure delight. Laughing out loud, so mellow and bright. Conte and Kenny, comedy's bite. Every Monday, come and play. Join us for laughs, end your day. Eastern time, the fun begins. Jokes and stories will make you grin. A perfect blend, pure comedic art. Conte and Kenny, they steal your heart. So click and watch the chuckles flow. Conte and Kenny, friends in tow. Sip some laughs on 100 proof. Comedy magic under your roof. Laughing out loud, so mellow and bright. Conte and Kenny, comedy's bite. Every Monday, come and play. Join us for laughs, end your day. Eastern time, the fun begins. Jokes and stories will make you grin. A perfect blend, comedic art. Conte and Kenny, they steal your heart. So click and watch the chuckles flow. Conte and Kenny, friends in tow. Sip some laughs on 100 proof. Comedy magic under your roof. Remember the time, don't miss the show. With Conte and Kenny, the giggles glow. Find the channel, don't delay. 100 proof podcasting, your Monday ballet.
And don't forget me, Joey Image.
The vision is real. The power is reawakening. The fear is reborn. Because they have returned. Because they have returned.
You stupid motherfucker. Welcome to the Conte and Show. Wow, Conte and Kenny Show. Also known as Arrogance and Alcoholism with a side of spandex. We are live every Monday night at 7-ish on the 100 Proof Podcasting YouTube channel. You can catch all the past shows wherever you get your podcasts. And we're updated, by the way. There was a bit of a mess, but we're all updated now. Or you can watch them all on the 100 Proof Network. If you're watching on YouTube, give the episode a thumbs up, give it a like, and if you want to be an adorable human being, click the notification bell after you subscribe so you never miss a live show like the Replayables, Killing with the Ables, or Shawnee doing video games. What is going on, everybody? Let's see. Down, here we go. Down in the lower Marxist left-hand corner is yours truly, the master of mild disasters, Joe Conte. And in the moderate center square is the blonde bombshell, the real star of this mess, Kenny the dog-sitting motherfucking Michaels. And up in the very red right-hand corner in permanent timeout is our resident skull-crushing ex-pro wrestler and computer whiz, Joey, the most polite, interrupting motherfucker in radio history, Image.
Good morning.
And, of course, behind the glass is the raunchiest, filthiest, most prepubescent, prolific producer of all time, Shawnee. What's happening, fellas?
I don't know.
I don't know where to go from there. I really don't.
Kenny's already had enough.
Move on. Yeah, let's move on. There's horse shit.
Let's move on.
Anyways.
We haven't said anything or started yet.
We haven't said anything yet. I mean,
yeah.
But,
no, I was going to say, before you gave those intros, I was going to say this show is sponsored by the Boston Institute for Dementia, because we're screwing up our words already before we even get on the air. And also what people don't seem to realize is this show is a great salve cure, if you will, for rickets. Anybody that has the rickets
Oh.
really enjoy.
So it's like a do-it-at-home cure for rickets instead of having to go to your doctor and getting a medicine?
Yeah, a little tea with lemon, some cayenne pepper, and 1 hour Mondays. And you're good. You're back at school.
I don't even know what
back
rickets
at school.
is.
It's some sort of oldie fucking school fucking disease.
It's gotta
like
be
a rash.
I'm gonna be 48 in fucking 2 weeks. How the fuck? How do I not know what that is?
I've heard
rickets
of it.
Rickets are like shingles. You know what's a shingle? Yeah,
I know what that is.
Here, I'll read it. Let's see. Let's see the definition of rickets.
You know what? My birthday's in 3 weeks, and it's on a Monday. We have to do a birthday show.
What?
Oh, okay.
I didn't even realize that.
So, Conte and Kenny, we are a cure for rickets. I think that is a great promo. I think
a
that
softening.
should be
here it is. A softening and weakening of bones in children, usually due to not getting enough vitamin D. See what I tell you? Tea with lemon, and you can have healthy bones, cracky bones.
Tea with lemon, and a Conte and an hour of Conte and Kenny every week will cure your rickets.
Lack of vitamin D and calcium, you get the rickets. Now the shingles are like chickenpox. It's the same virus level as COVID and chickenpox and that thing.
Gotcha.
Same kind of shit. But hey, if you have COVID, if you have the shingles, the rickets, or the gutters, or the front mats, the storm door, whatever fucking disease you get, the aluminum siding sickness, just fucking put the show on Mondays.
All of those sicknesses. Yes.
Yeah.
And don't forget a couple of quick things. Number one,
a spoonful of expired sour cream because it goes good.
Because it goes good.
That old one. That old one.
That was one of my favorite Otto jokes. He goes, they got an expiration date on sour cream. What are they afraid it's going to go good?
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
I never thought of that.
Joke.
There's a holistic for vaginal for yeast infections, and when the pH is off, you know, like when you have a pool and the pH is off, the water gets cloudy and green, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
When a woman's vagina's pH is off, it gets cloudy and green too, right?
Wow.
So one of the holistic things is the enzymes and the enzymes and the proteins in regular Greek yogurt, no fruit.
Oh,
and they're packing a hat with with rocks. Just jam it right in there, and it's supposed to heal it up. All natural, all natural.
Everyone knows what that's like. Packing a hat.
I don't know how I came up with that. I just said I made it up.
It's like having fucking Frosted Flakes.
I just picture scoops. You know.
Yep.
But you throw the balance off. Guys don't have because guys don't. Your own natural body temperature usually regulates your pH. But they have a gauge.
You're having you're got a little clicking going on, as they said in the honeymoon. There's a little clicking in the phone, so just try to make sure.
Kenny is dialing, so
Kenny's Kenny's texting us because he was having a problem signing on, and he's like, "Hey, tell Shawnee to answer. I'm dialing." I'm like, "Are you on a fucking rotary? Like, what are we doing here?"
It looks like it's dialing. It has to wait. Am I loud enough or too loud?
No, you sound good. That's very good.
Okay.
Stick. Aku in the chat says paint thinner and Pepto-Bismol will do the trick.
There you go.
Welcome to the 1830s.
Yeah.
But don't forget, if you're listening and you're not watching this, if you want to leave us a voicemail and we could play the voicemail on the air, 572-888-6116. Yep, Joey's pointing in the right direction.
Yeah,
and then of
call
course,
the number right there, fuckers.
We are now monetized. So if you want to join us in the chat, and if you want to do a super chat, you could donate. I think the minimum, Shawnee, is what? $2?
$2 or something like that.
$1 for a super chat, $2 if you want to actually talk.
If you want to actually what?
To put in a message.
Oh,
okay.
like,
So a
so
dollar,
a dollar is
just to
just a
donate,
donation. Yeah.
just to donate, and $2, then your chat will your
Well, my
the
$2.
more the higher you go, the higher the amount, the more characters you get.
Oh, okay.
So really, if somebody fucking donates $1,000, you could just write the entire show for the hour.
Just come
I'm
on up.
assuming.
Just listen. I'll just move to the side. I'll let you do the show for an hour. I don't care.
I will meet you in
Your
Sea
house?
Caucus and blow you in the parking lot of Fuddruckers for $1,000.
Wow.
Sea Caucus Fuddruckers. $1,000, ladies and gentlemen. That's all it takes. You want a blow job and a handy dandy? Meet me at Fuddruckers, Sea Caucus, Route 3.
Right next to the WOR or the
Yeah, right next to the studios. Yeah. Yeah, you got Major League Baseball, you got WWE, all of them, OR. They're all up in Sea Caucus. The Giants. But yeah, it's a good place for blowjobs. Fuddruckers.
Yeah.
Are you nuts?
And I'll get you a chocolate malt afterwards too. Dude, I'm sorry. I'm breathing. I really am breathing like a fucking one of those pug dogs because I was running errands all morning, and of course every year, every spring we talk about it, allergies and whatnot. Because my everything that I touch is completely green, and I was out all day and it was pretty good. I talked to JoJo this afternoon. I don't know, 2, 3 o'clock, whatever. He was still working, and then I passed out. And as soon as I woke up, I was like, "Holy shit, I can't breathe." So I
By
took
the way,
this other.
Kenny, thanks for clarifying. You meant pug dog. I thought you meant pug rhinoceros.
Not a dog. Oh, yeah, funny. Yeah, I got you.
The dog.
I didn't catch that one. Yeah, you got me. The bug dog. The little poor assholes. Why would you do that? Why would you let's take this nice little pooch and just fucking smush him and make his life miserable so he can't even breathe while he's eating. And let's tighten his asshole so tight that he shits Tootsie Rolls and his eyes bug out of his head and they dry out and get stuck to the carpet like a fish that falls out of the tank.
Are you complaining at God for creating them?
No, the cocksucker who took 2 different breeds and eventually made a pug, the poor bastards. I have sleep apnea, and can I imagine if I was a pug? It's brutal. It's a nightmarish situation.
You wouldn't be for long. Yeah, you wouldn't be for long.
Yeah, no, I'd be dead. But but the allergies are out of control. And the other day, I took a new medicine because I can't take allergy medicines because it gives me either a bloody nose or my tongue is like dry as a Triscuit. It's like dried in a popcorn fart. You know what I mean? And I can't. My lips stick to my teeth. So I every so often when a new one comes out, I try it to see how it works. The other day I took it in the morning, and I went to work, and of course the windows are down because it's just too hot, and everything's blowing around. And the medicine that I took. It's not Lorata, something else, whatever it is, whatever the fuck it is. I took it, and you know when you inhale a cigarette and you pucker, like your lips pucker, or when you take a sip of a straw.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
When your lips go, and when your lips pucker, or your cheeks,
like whistling, like your lips, like you're whistling, basically, like you're whistling,
right?
Okay,
okay,
and then take both of your thumbs and stick them to your palm. Try to touch your palm with your thumb. Okay? And now make the face like you're whistling.
I'm doing it.
Make the face like you're whistling.
No,
that's
Joey.
My hands, my lips,
You didn't say the
and my hands were. My lips and hands were cramping up, and I was at work and I couldn't talk because my lips were puckering. Because whatever this medicine did started making me have muscle spasms. So I'm at work and I'm like, I couldn't even smoke on the ride into work. I couldn't get water into my lips because it was like I was sucking on a straw. And I'm like, well, this has never happened before.
Jesus.
So finally, it took like 5 bottles of water and like an hour for like everything to like come back to normal. And I was like, that's enough of that fucking medicine. Wow. It didn't even make me high. If it made me high,
do you know what it was called?
I don't know. It's downstairs somewhere. It's something new. I tried. It's over the counter. It's not like a high powered thing, but I have reactions to it. Not bad. Not like anaphylactic. I'm not going into shock. I'm not allergic to like peanuts or anything. It just I I just don't like it's you know, like you take an anti-diarrhea pill, you're gonna dry up. You know what I mean? You'll dry. It'll soak it up. You take something, you know what's going to happen. When I take allergy medicine, I know that I'm going to get a bloody nose, which no one ever wants to have. And you know what the best cure for a bloody nose is? You take a tissue, like you would stuff it up your nose, but put nasal spray on it. Because the nasal spray is for the blood vessels. It constricts the blood vessels. Whew, bloody nose gone
Really?
in a matter of a couple of seconds.
That.
Yep.
Yeah, I never even heard of that.
Yep.
Dr.
I found that out. Yeah, it works like a charm. Just have a thing of Afrin, in the house. You get a bloody nose, take that little ball of tissue, pour the don't spritz it like you're up your nose, drip it on there. You know what I mean? Wet it up, clog that guy up in the nostril, and you're good to go in about 25 seconds. Because it constricts the blood vessels. That's why your nose opens up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It constricts everything and opens the swollen. So, yeah, but this stuff, like, I would take it if something made me high. If it made me high and feel good, then I could take with the puckering lips. I could have my lips look like an asshole. As long as I'm high.
Right.
But not at work. I'm trying to talk to people, and I look like Lily Tomlin as the new line 2 as the phone operator from fucking
Yeah. You know what you
What
look
was
like
that,
you're doing the duck face. It almost looks like when
yeah.
the big thing when everybody
Yeah,
doing
and
these selfies. Ooh,
Now here's
that shit.
here's the thing. I didn't realize it because in the morning I don't talk to anybody. I'm not on the phone, so I don't say a word until I get in the car and I talk to myself and I'm like, today's gonna suck. Just like random conversation to myself. You just say you get in the car,
yourself
boom.
since you woke up. Why wouldn't you say anything then? Why do you wait till you get
Because
in the car?
if you're finally in the car, it's like it's the end day.
Funny.
It's the end game. You're in the car. You're on your way to work. You're like, this is gonna fucking suck. And that's the only time I hear anything. And then I tried to talk, and I was like, what the fuck is up with my lips? I've had
Aku in the did a super chat. Thank you. $2 from Aku. Is this thing on? Cricket, crash. I think that was him imitating you trying to sign on. That's what I think. Because Aku's a dick, right? So I think Aku is just being a dick, breaking your balls.
Something with it's my cable, it's my camera. I'm missing something. I'm doing it,
Right.
but I can't. It's just telling me to reconnect.
Last week it looked
Worked the
great.
last month. Yeah, worked the last 3 weeks. Me neither. I'll check it out.
I love the fact that he was like, tell Shawnee, because everybody, I think most people who know, we have to sign in. We have to log in, and then you just click, and then you get signed into the, whatever the vehicle is to do your podcast. And Kenny's texting us. He's like, tell Shawnee to pick up. I'm dialing.
Yeah. Like, pick up. I'm like, pick up what? You
pick up what?
Put in a fucking password and you're connected. What the fuck am I picking up?
It says join the call.
Yeah, like
right.
Kenny thinks like the only way he could sign in if Shawnee picks up the old receiver from 1968.
You got to grab the horn off the wall.
Yeah.
30 years before Sean was born.
Yeah, exactly. And he's like, uncurl the friggin' wire around your finger, all right? And let me get on so I could do the podcast.
Fucking Morse code. Kenny's talking to Morse code.
Kenny's talking. Do you know our pal Johnny Watson, comedian friend? I've known for like 20 something years.
Half Jewish shyster.
Okay,
half quarter Jewish shyster. That guy's a big piece of shit.
And Watson, he used to be in the Navy. He knows Morse code. He can speak in Morse code.
Yeah, that's cool.
He does a joke about it on stage where he's like, they'll say their name and then he'll do fucking Morse code to the.
No kidding, really.
Yeah, they'll be like, "What's your name?" It's Gary. Oh, Gary is did dot 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 did that did dot did that dot did dot. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
I have to
Nice.
see that.
And I'm always like,
Yeah, that's
and
actually
every
funny.
time he does it, I want to hear if he's just saying the same thing over
Is
and
he
over.
lying?
Yeah, right.
Is he
I don't
being? Is
think
he
so.
lying?
No,
'Cause how-
no,
He's gonna get some Navy guy sometime that's like, that wasn't it, you fucking prick.
Yeah, Joey.
that's what I'm
Who's actually?
That's so
What
funny.
are the chances of someone being qualified in Morse code? Morse code. I said Morse code. Morse code.
made me think of
that-
Morris the cat.
Yeah. Well, you know how many people are qualified? And you go, that's not Gary. Johnny Watson. That is not Gary.
That's
You're
what I'm
just
saying. One
fucking.
day he's
You're
gonna
just
get
tapping a
military-
tune there, Sandman. You know that beep, beep.
Yeah,
Fucking
yeah.
Scatman Carruthers over here.
Yeah, it's not like you're speaking Spanish. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where there's going to be somebody who's going to pick
Right.
up, be like,
Yeah, somebody's
you know,
like, yeah,
Maricon.
yeah.
Maricon,
Yeah.
that ain't right.
Johnny Watson's like, yeah, your name's Gary. Did it beep 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 beep? You're like, no, you just spelled cucumber, asshole.
It's like trying to speak
Try
in
to
Braille.
get at the 10 o'clock show.
It's like trying to speak in Braille.
Yeah, it's very strange. But
There's a funny one. It's a TikTok, but they have the first Braille Playboy. And all it is, it's like this nerdy guy, and he's got glasses on, and he opens one page, and he puts his hand on it, and he goes, "Damn!" And that's it. That's funny. 'Cause you know, what's the description? It's a picture. You know what I mean? You know?
yeah, a coup talking about Johnny Watson doing that. He goes, "Don't know if Google Translate would work."
Yeah.
You could do Google Translate for Morse code because it does
Yeah.
all the other. It does every friggin' language almost. You know.
Morse code seems like it came from like a nursing home, like with someone real senile who just like would walk by stay by the water fountain, go beep 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 beep, beep, you know, staring out the window like Robert De Niro in Awakenings. You know what I mean? Like they got to paint the floor checkered and you got to throw tennis balls at them. Beep 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 beep. That would be fucking funny though if you ran into if you were visiting someone at the hospital,
Right.
just for and you just happen to go down the wrong wing, and you're in like the psych ward, and some guy who looks like Abe Vigoda or something just stops you in the tracks and just goes beep 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 beep. It's like a fucking scene from a movie, man. It'd be hilarious.
It almost sounds like Porky Pig when you do that. You know.
Yeah. Just beep, beep,
That's
beep,
what I
beep,
thought.
beep,
I
beep.
keep waiting for that's all, folks.
Mini. That's Gary in Morse code. Mini. That's Susan in Morse code. Yeah, that's.
You know, when you get into some of those hallways, a lot of shit happens, and that would be felt like the guy next to my grandmother the one time, an old black guy. He goes, "That's my wife. Get my wife. She's right there in a red dress." There's a fucking fire extinguisher outside the door. You know what I mean? And they're like, "This is gonna be a good night, Grandma."
Oh
You know, my grandma like hurt her elbow. You know what I mean? And they just roomed her up with some fucking senile black guy. That's my wife. She's in a red dress. And my grandmother's sitting down. She goes, "Is she here?" I go, "It's a fucking fire extinguisher. It's right outside the door. The door's open. The nurses are coming in, yelling." But you know, just beep 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 beep. Man, I wonder how dirty talk, sexy talk. Let's try sexy. It doesn't have to be dirty. Try sexy talk.
In
Like
Morse
sexy
code.
talk in Morse code.
Did it?
There's got to be some. There's got to be a Morse code like a translator, and you're like,
Did it? Did it?
yes.
It's like a military only phone sex line.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
A bunch of Navy guys calling Joe. Did it?
Yeah.
yeah. It's fucking 2 Korean War veterans and a cosmonaut going dot dot d dot dot.
I'd like to make
Ooh,
a ship
da,
to
da.
ship collect call.
Yeah. There's got to be something there, though. You know, there's got to
Morse
be.
code.
Sure.
Morse code.world. That's your fucking translator.
Yeah?
It is a translator, huh?
The text. Wait, type text.
You know, put
Oh,
like
yeah, but you have to you type it in text. and it translates it here. That's crazy.
And
It might be protected, so you might not be able to get dirty on it. Not dirty. I'm talking sexy talk, not dirty talk. You know, I had that old. Remember, I used to do that old joke, JoJo,
What was
where I
that?
was like, when I'm with a woman, I never get this. I never get bing bong. Hi, me and my girlfriends. We're next door. We're having a pillow fight and a dick sucking contest. We ran out of sugar. Do you have any cock?
Yeah,
Remember that
I
one?
remember that. Right. And then
Yeah.
do you ever do like what I actually get?
Yeah, exactly. And then there was the other one where I was like, I never get this either, where you're lying in bed next to a woman, you're whispering sweet nothings in her ear and having sexy talk, and she gently goes in next to your ear, nuzzles up, and says, "Get the dildo."
Yeah.
Very good. Where's
You
the
know what we
sound?
got to do, Kenny?
Yeah.
Remember that clip? And I don't know if we talked about it on the air, but a guy that used to own a club in Hoboken.
Oh, that's where it's from. Because I remembered it. I had forgotten about those jokes, and it's in
Right.
those videos.
What if we have maybe not the next show? Well, whatever. But maybe we'll send that clip to Shawnee, and maybe Shawnee can get some. Either just edit your part, and we could play some of it because
Sure.
Listen, just for fun, and we can break your balls a little bit, but it's almost like we're showing off, going, look at fucking Kenny 15 years ago, fucking just murdering.
No, I'm cool with it, man. You couldn't stop me. I was just punching through stuff. You know what I mean? I was
right.
warm. I was warmed up. Not that it was the funniest shit ever, but just technique wise, it was just like I was just going after it.
Yeah,
rapid fire kind of a thing. So yeah, absolutely.
Kenny's,
That's where I remembered him.
Kenny's vocal rhythm is very good, or at least it was very good when he was
Yeah.
But he had a great rhythm to the way he spoke, and it really resonated with people. But I want to just have a little moment for the weekend that I just had, just to give you an idea of the different worlds that you live in this fucking world of comedy.
In this business, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, the highs and the lows are
God.
the highs and lows are so neck to neck.
Okay.
Yeah, they are
so
photo finish of
it's
the highs and the low. Oh,
crazy.
It is. What's that called? What's the word for it? It's not demoralizing. Humbling. It is a humbling business.
This business can humble you in 3 minutes. But,
You're high in May, shot down in June.
Yeah,
That's life.
I had two shows. I had a show on Friday and a show on Saturday, and they were both theater shows. So I'll tell you about the second show first, which was Saturday night, 10 minutes from my house at the Mayo Pack Performing Arts Theater in Morristown, New Jersey. We're opening for Vic DiBitetto, right?
Right. Now,
Saturday, you said?
What?
This last
That
year
was
just
Saturday, you
passed.
said?
Yeah.
Saturday, right?
Yeah.
And
Now, ladies and gentlemen, for a comic, most of the time, especially opening up for a guy like Vic, who always sells out, you're pretty much, the kind of knowledge is that if there's 1,000 people, at least 300 of them are going to like you. If you're any decent, if you get the opportunity to open up in a theater, you've obviously proven yourself. So there's going to be people that like you, and it's a fun show. It feels like show business.
So Conte, it was sold out.
Yeah, there you go.
And Kenny Michaels.
Your first time at a sold out joint. So just for perspective, a theater show feels like show business. So Joe, let's see where this goes.
And that was Saturday night. And I've opened for Vic a bunch of times, and the most I've ever been in front of, even with Vic, or maybe when me and Kenny and a bunch of us did a show at Starland, it was
a couple thousand,
800, 900, maybe 1,000 once with Vic. But Saturday night, and it's 15 minutes from where I grew up in Morristown, New Jersey, 1,300 people, right? Packed.
I wish I knew about it. I didn't know about it until Bev was posting pictures online. I don't know how I didn't know about it.
I didn't do much promoting because
you didn't say anything. Yeah, you don't have to with Vic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And so it was great. I got to do like 25 minutes, right? And we had a great time. We went out to eat first with Vic outside right next door to the place. And it was a beautiful, beautiful evening. And it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
great. Fucking,
Great town, too.
Oh,
Great town to hang out
Marshall's
in.
a great town. And we got a green room with all the snacks and fruits and chips and waters, and they're coming to you. They're
Was
like, Mr.
George
Conte,
Takei
is there
there
any-"
too?
What's that?
Yeah, room.
George Takei there?
He's got room. He's got room.
missed
Room.
You said there were fruits. I thought George Takei.
Look at
That's
you.
my
He's got
favorite
room
fruit.
temperature Nova Scotia salmon. You know, he's got smoked
Room
salmon,
temperature.
beer.
So and it's just great. It was just a fun night.
Yeah.
And I did very well. You know, I did good. And my wife was there, and my wife does not sugarcoat. My wife will be like, she goes, "You did very well." And even when Vic was doing
That's
a
tough coming from
live
her.
video.
She's a tough one.
Vic was doing a live video before he went on, so he's talking with Beverly and one of the managers in the backstage, and you can hear my stupid voice coming through the speakers, and even Beverly is like, when you see the video, it's like a 9-minute video leading up to when he get on stage, and when he got on stage, he showed the with the whole crowd, and it was cool.
So he paid a lot of attention to your set.
No, I don't need him to.
No, I know. It's more of a wrestling joke because everyone watches everyone else's match.
Oh, they do.
Yeah. Like a hey, what
okay.
did you think, or what did I do wrong? What did I do
Right.
right? Any advice? Well,
No, Vic DiMatteo's heard Four-Way Stop and Morocco Bamboo about 18 fucking times. Too many. He's done.
So it was just amazing. It was an amazing night. I felt so good. My wife was there. She was very, very proud. She was very happy. We had a
Very
great
nice.
time. And like I said, they're like, "Oh, is there anything we can get for you?" I'm like, "No, I'm good." You know, like
You're
Friday
you're the talent on a Saturday night like that.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
You are
So-
anyone that works there looks at you because the place is sold to the gills. You're a professional entertainer. You know, you're Liberace. You're fucking Wayne Newton. You know, so they
What the
give
fuck?
it really feels
Joe doesn't
it
wanna
feels
be
good
idle.
when you're
Guys,
it feels good when you're treated well, you know, for all the things that suck. When you have a night like that, you're just like, this is why I do it, you know, because you're just feel good.
Yes.
So cut
that
to
was Saturday night. So Friday night, I'm doing a show in a theater. Again, I was Theater Joe this weekend. So this show, it was way down in Burlington County. So it was about, with traffic, it was like 2 hours. And it was me, Johnny Watson, and Jim Mandrinos. We drove down together. There was another comic,
good crew,
Gina D.
good crew.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was a great
Good crew.
ride down. And
Mandrinos is
so
good.
Yep.
Watson's
So,
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was, we had fun. And this girl, Gina D, was on the show also, but she met us down there. And
David?
cute little town called, Burlington. And it's a theater. But
They
it's
sell
like
coats down there, don't they?
Joey's killing.
And I think it's just a factory.
I'm auditioning for the next opening
Right.
spot in the Victor Potato
Okay.
show.
Okay.
He's reaching for theaters over here.
So now this story would be better if Friday night was the night with Vic, and then the next night is the night in Burlington, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was Burlington first night. So now we get there. It's a cute little town. We park. We find it. It's upstairs, and it's like a little artsy theater.
Right. You know what, Joe, real quick. I can't stand anybody who's not British that says theater. Oh, theater. If you're a British guy can say it, but
aluminium. You say aluminium.
I do that on purpose
Yeah.
for fun. I do that on purpose for fun.
The theater.
Process Canadian instead of process. I say process.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
and aluminium. It's
Aluminium.
just it's more fun. But I'm not. You won't hear me go. We have to go to the theater.
The
What am I
theater.
fucking? Yeah. What am I
Yeah.
fucking Winston Churchill? I have his fucking his shadow, but not his fucking. You know. Anyways, sorry. So
And-
now you're
now-
going to Burlington.
We get there, right? We get there. Actually, here's the thing too. We the flyer says the doors open at 7, right? But I said, listen, I said, Johnny, come to my house at 4 and we'll leave early, right? And Jim Madrinos was going to meet me at the house too. I was going to drive down. The three of us drive down together. Said, we'll get there early and we'll grab
What's
some
it? What's the
grub."
time from your house? What's it to Burlington?
He just said
With traffic, 2 hours, right?
2 hours. Okay.
Not too bad. Figure we'll get there early. We'll go get some grub. We'll do
Yeah,
whatever,
6
right?
o'clock.
Yeah, get there at 6. The show's, if the doors open at 7, that means the show's at either 7:30 or 8 o'clock, right? So we all of a sudden Johnny gets to my house and he gets a phone call from Jim, who's like 15 minutes, 20 minutes from my house, and he got into an accident. Some 85-year-old man fucking blew through a light and fucking smashed his car up. Now, it wasn't total, but it was bad. So now we had to go pick him up. So instead of going from my house and going south, I had to go east about 15 minutes to get to his house, which was trafficy. And then from there, we go south. Now, when we're on our way down,
Cutting close.
well, not really cutting close because it's still, dude. Johnny calls the lady to say, "Hey, listen, we're on our way. We just want to let you know." And they were like, "Okay, good. The show's starting at 7." And he's like, "What do you mean the show's starting at 7? It says the doors open at 7."
Yeah.
And she's like, "No, that's when the show starts." Like, you're fucking kidding me. Dude, the flyer says the doors open at 7. So what do? They just open the doors and it's like Walmart on Black Friday and they just all blast in and slide and wherever they land, that's when we start the show.
That's a fucking bit, dude. Keep that. What you just said. That's a fucking bit, bro. I did this fucking show in Burlington once.
What do you got to put you got to have a bow tie and a flashlight and see people while you're doing your 4-way stop sign?
Yeah, exactly. Like, wait, are we starting at 7 while they're all filing in? Like, what is this? So they were like, "No, it's supposed to start at 7." And we were like, "Look, so now it says we're gonna get there about
as you're seating people, you're like, yeah, I had bypass surgery recently. I lost a lot of weight recently. As you're seating them,
exactly. Right. So Now we're going down there, and it says we're going to get there about 5 minutes to 7. So we're going to be okay, right? The girl, she calls up, and she was like, "What the hell?" And she got there right around 7, but she was like, it was really fucked up. Like, who puts doors open at 7 and the show starts at 7? Like, I've never seen that ever.
Minimum an hour before, hour after doors open. Minimum 1 hour.
Now with a theater, no more than an hour because it's not like there's a bunch of food and all that kind of shit. It's just it's an artsy little theater on the second floor of this little, this building. So we get there, right? And there people are waiting in like this other room where there's all these it's like an arts gallery. It was an arts gallery. So they're all waiting in the arts gallery for the show to start. When we got there, they let everybody in, and it's a cute little theater, right? It's got like little bleachers, and all that. Looks like a nice sound system, speakers.
That first grade hand turkeys on the wall in macaroni, fucking hand.
So it was it was about 20 people there, right? It was about 20 people in the audience.
No.
20. Right?
What did seat? What did seat? A couple hundred?
I've wrestled in front of less.
No, it probably would seat like 100 people. Like, it's small, but
a little small, little artsy theater, gotcha.
Right. It almost looks like they filmed Wonderama there. Like, it just looks like that kind of a fucking It just looked like that, right? So now they didn't start exactly at 7, right? We probably started about 7:15. So Johnny Watson, he booked it. Well, it was a Mike Morse gig. Speaking of Morse, and we were talking about
nice,
Morse,
very nice,
Mike Morse gig. So Morse gave it to Watson. So Watson, very nice. He hosted the show, and it was him, then Gina, me, and then Jim Mandrinos closed it out. So Johnny's up there, and he's doing his thing. And Kenny, when I say this, you're gonna know where the story goes.
Okay.
They had a wireless mic. Yeah.
So went in the crowd?
No. So he's doing and this is what you're hearing from Johnny Watson. All right. Let me see if I can do this good. So, how you doing? My name's Johnny Watson, and just want to say I'm here. Thanks for coming out, and we should have.
Oh, does he hold the top of it?
No. It's
No,
not
cutting in and out.
The mic kept cutting
Oh,
in and
cutting
out.
out. Okay. Yeah.
And not 1,000%, not like out completely, almost
Right.
like it was full, and then it would be like half, and then full and half, but it sounded
Yeah,
like
I deal
shit.
with it every month at our wrestling shows. The ring announcer, same fucking deal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, holy shit, this is terrible, right? He gets off, the other girl goes on, and it's same thing, but it's so small that they still can hear, but it's annoying, right? So I'm like, you know what, bro? I'm gonna go to my car and I'm gonna grab a mic and a cord. I got a 50-foot cord and a mic. We'll just plug it right into their system.
Yeah,
and we'll
sure.
have a mic. Right. So I run downstairs. I go in the back of my vehicle. I come back up. We try plugging it in from the booth. We can't. It's not working. It doesn't work. Right. So it just sounds terrible. And then I just said, listen, man. And this is all while the girl is up. The girl, Gina, doing like 20 minutes. Yeah. And I said, dude, you want me to just get my system? You want me to just get my fucking sound system and we'll just do it because it's just going to sound like shit the whole fucking time. All right, let's do it. So now I got to run down to my car. I got to bring my sound system, carry it up 2 flights of fucking stairs, right? I thank God I'm in decent shape at this point. And so now when Johnny's up there, right? I mean, the girl is up there. Now she's signing off. She's like, thank you so much. My name is Gina D. Thank you. Johnny goes back up hosting. Now me and Jim, like the fucking Stooges, like behind him, start setting up the sound for my sound system while Johnny's talking to the mic and he's letting him know, hey, listen, we're putting our sound system in, blah, blah, blah. So it looked like a fucking vaudeville fucking routine where you got one guy talking and 2 guys in the back fucking setting up sound speakers and all these shit.
One guy's head is caught in a ladder as the other ones are walking, with their feet dangling.
If they would have played the music real fast or the Benny Hill music and we would have been shuffling around in fast motion, that's what we looked like. And then you
grab your hat with both hands and pull it over your head and go, wow.
Yeah, exactly like that. Yeah.
Bangy sax or some shit like that. What the fuck?
Yakety sax, it's called.
Yakety sax.
Yeah, yakety sax. And and then while Johnny was
up
up there,
Benji from.
Yeah, so Johnny's up there doing his thing, just talking to them while we're setting it up, and then it took us about 4 minutes to set up the sound, and then Johnny brought me up, and then brought Jim up. But here's my point: I did 2 theaters this weekend. One where I was in a fucking green room, a dressing room, and the other one I had to
with
run
Nova
to the
Scotia
parking lot. I had to run to the parking lot to go get the sound because their sound sucked, and I had to fucking be the fucking engineer and set up sound during a fucking show, and that is the fucking. I mean, that was one weekend. Like that is how fucking weird and crazy and insane and awesome this fucking business can be. But
you went from Great Adventure, right, or Disneyland to the ball pit at McDonald's. You know what I mean?
So the way I think about it is you went from fucking San Diego Comic-Con to Newark Comic-Con.
Yeah, exactly. Dude.
I've been to Newark Comic-Con. It's $6 to get in. I'm like, what the fuck?
It
That's
was
funny.
So it was.
You know what? It would have been
surreal.
different. It would have been different if the nights were switched because you got that sour taste in your mouth. You did the gig, and then you're like, all right, that was just a waste of time, and what it is.
We had a good time. I tell you, it was a regular gig. We went to because we didn't get a chance to eat or anything. So after we were done, we went and go grab some grub. We went to
So did it actually start at 7?
Dude, quarter after. Like as soon as we were, and what's funny is Watson was like,
doors actually open at 7.
Oh, but the doors opened when we got there. But like I said, dude, there was 18 people. There was it was like you were waiting for a Thanksgiving dinner, and it was your family. And we just kind
no. When you show up there and the woman who runs it, you're like, hey, is the crowd here yet? And she's like, yes, he's been waiting 15 minutes.
Yes, it's a lovely couple. They've been here for an hour.
Yeah.
They just got engaged. They're gonna really enjoy your skits, your sketches.
Yeah.
Like,
It's an 85-year-old man in the back that just got into a car accident. So just be
yeah,
careful.
exactly. How funny would it have been is if the Friday night I get to perform in a theater opening for
Yeah.
Vic in front of 1,300 people. I'm still hot. You know, my wife, whenever I have those shows and I come home, and the next morning she'll be like, "Hey, what's this? So you still feel like a superstar? You still, you still high as a kite? You know, because there is a high. Joey, you know the high from from wrestling and from performing, and Kenny obviously knows it too.
Yeah,
but it would be great if I would have went from Friday night at a fucking 1,300 seat theater in Morristown, New Jersey, and then Saturday in front of 18 people, setting up a fucking sound system in front of 18 people.
Beverly would be like, "How'd it go?" And you're like, "I'm going to night school Monday. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going back to fucking. I'm going to night school.
I gotta
I'm going to Lincoln Tech. I gotta change my life. This is bullshit."
Absolutely. Let me see what they're saying on here.
But for every 100 of those shit theaters you've done, you'll do it to have one, good one, 1,500, 2,000.
My buddy Rich Patterson says, I went from Disney to Action Park.
Yeah.
That is perfect. That's perfect.
Show title.
Disney to Action Park. But it was, I tell you, like Kenny says, this fucking crazy business is so humbling. And it's like when I met George Carlin, hold on a second. Aku, and did your friend refer to the accident as testing an airbag? Yeah, I don't know if that would be a good way of saying it for sure. But it's so humbling. And when I met George Carlin, and that was the coolest. It was November of 2002. And I'll never forget it. We hung out with him for like 5 minutes at one of his intermission shows. And this is what he said to us. He said, if you got good stuff, right, and your stuff works on Thursday, and the stuff works on Friday, and it works on but then it bombs on Saturday, it's the fucking audience.
Yeah,
it's not you.
Yep,
it's the audience. And
great advice.
And it's because now you have to be self-aware enough in this field, or pretty much in life, to know when something is you and when something's not you. And
right.
So it's
what you have to do. Yeah, Jojo. I'm sorry. What you have to understand is, like, if you're a major league pitcher, okay, in order to be a comedian, you have to know that you're funny. To be a major league pitcher, you have to know how to throw a curveball and a fastball. You just can't get off the street and go, "I'm going to pitch for the Yankees." No, it takes time. Time. You can learn how to throw a fastball and a curveball, but you can't sit there and go, I could throw a fucking, because if you say that you could throw a curveball to a major league hitter, he's going to hit it out of Yellowstone Park. You know what I mean? That's how far it's going to go. If you are a fraud and a comedian going, "Yeah, I know how to tell a joke," and you don't, the crowd's going to eat you alive.
That's why I'm not a
brutal.
comic.
And it's brutal,
man. Like, comparing that, it's almost like saying, "Hey, I'm funny. Like I'm funny around my friends." And listen, we know so many. I mean, listen,
that's
funny people are they're all over, right? I mean, everybody can be funny, and some people are a little bit, they're really funny, but that's the difference. It's like, "Hey, I'm really funny around my friends, and I can tell some funny stories. Now go do stand up." That's like saying, "Hey, this guy, I could throw a fucking baseball, man. I could throw one like 92 miles an hour."
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you could pitch in the majors.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what Kenny's talking about.
And that's why I'm not a comic.
Yeah.
But you also know the difference of when you got guys who are like, "Hey, I can wrestle." And blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I watched it on TV for years. I know how to do it. Hey, you don't.
Exactly. Or he wrestled a little bit. Or
it's so beyond what me myself. It's so beyond what I thought from watching it on TV. Why is the coup getting serious? Are you fucking kidding me?
No,
I love it.
It's a
I
comedy
love
show.
it.
He's right. He's 1,000%
Oh,
right.
I know. I'm just saying.
Joey
Comedy
gets
show.
uncomfortable with like a serious thing here.
What
But
the fuck?
Yeah.
a
Who's
coup
laughing?
says you can do everything
That's-
right and still fail. How you act after that failure decides on your direction, and he's
Yeah.
right.
So
Listen.
like Rocky said.
I was just
Fall
going
down
to say
1,000
Joey
times.
probably turned Rocky off
Every time you got
midway
up.
through.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Joey was like, this movie isn't moving fast enough. Rocky over halfway through. He goes
I'll
bust
tell you,
skulls.
I would
'Cause I
never.
will tell you.
Not with those movies.
Yeah.
When I'm doing shows and there are like newer comics on a show, right? Sometimes I'll do something. I'll host or close out one of Dino's new talent night things that he does once a month on
Right.
like a Tuesday, and I'll meet some of these newer comics and they're doing it 6
Tuesday?
months, 8 months, or
I gotta
whatever.
work Wednesday morning.
And these guys will be like, they'll be like, "Hey, dude, whatever, you were really good, blah blah blah," and then they'll ask me like questions, like whatever, like, and I try to say to him, I say, "Listen, dude, the only difference between me and you is that I've been on stage fucking 13,000 times. In other words,
You sell yourself short. I'm guessing
I'm
you're
not
gonna
selling
sell
myself
yourself
short. But what I'm trying to tell them is
Mhm.
like, if you saw a video of me after a year of doing stand up,
Yeah.
you would say, why are you still doing stand up? You know what I
Oh,
mean?
God.
And
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
goes back
yeah.
to what a coup
Yeah.
says.
My first
It's not-
5 years of wrestling. What
Yeah,
Why the fuck
exactly.
did you stick around? You were fucking
Believe
terrible.
me, dude. I really don't think I really started getting good at stand up until after 10 years. And that's the
Yeah.
thing. It's the
We were lucky,
self-awareness
Joe.
to know the difference between being self-aware and being delusional. Because
Yeah.
you can be self-aware and you can say, you know what, I think I could do something here. But then there's also the guys that are delusional. And I've
Yeah,
always said
there's
this, there are two kinds of comedians. There are two comedians out there. One, like each comic did 10 minutes, right? Two comics did 10 minutes and they both did 10 jokes, right? And the first comic, 9 jokes did really well and 1 joke didn't hit. And he gets off stage and he'd be like, "Yo, dude, how'd you do?" Yeah, I did okay. But it's one fucking joke. It didn't hit, And then there's the other guy who goes up there and does 10 minutes, does 10 jokes, 9 of them bomb, and he gets 1 laugh. And you're like, and he gets off stage, be like, "Hey, did you hear that? You hear that laugh?" I'm like,
Yeah.
am I on the same fucking planet as you? And it doesn't mean that if you bomb, you have to think that you stink. But
No,
you have to
you're cutting
know-
you're trimming the fat.
but you have
You're making
to
the stew.
know, are you getting better and are you improving? And I'll say it. I know guys that have been doing this shit for 15 years
That
and they
in the
haven't
mud.
improved shit.
In
Oh,
the
yeah.
mud, and God bless their tenacitiveness,
I love
whatever
it.
whatever that word is.
It's
You know what I mean? Tenacity. I'll never forget. Yeah, it's an
You're
activist.
thinking of the
I'll
fucking
never forget.
Tenactin commercial. Tough acting Tenactin.
Tough activist. Yeah, I'll never forget this, and I'll say his name because he's a friend and he's a good dude. And this guy, E.C. Winkler. He would
I
do
love that
he
guy.
would do plays and stuff like that. I'll never forget when I first started. He had been in and out of doing it for like 10 years. He's a big bulbous guy, and he had a roast beef joke that was hilarious.
Yes.
And that
my
was it.
favorite joke.
You know what I mean? But I'm
He
backstage. I'm
was a very heavy
backstage.
guy. He was a very heavy guy.
Big
and
heavy
he
guy.
said, he goes,
Still
my
is.
mom would she would give me the cheapest Halloween costume. She would just give me a string and wrap it around my belly, and I would go as a roast beef, which is just it's a funny joke.
Yes. And I guess this took him because when I first met him, he was coming back off of a couple of year hiatus of doing stand up, and he gets off stage, and I haven't got on there yet. And he gets off stage, he's sweating profusely, and he's basically talking to himself, where he goes, "Why do I keep doing this to me?" He ate shit. He fucking ate a dong on stage. You know what I mean? There wasn't a fucking sneeze. And he
Right.
goes, to the back of the bar, wherever the fuck we were at. And he just sits there in a moment of clarity and goes, what the fuck am I doing? Why am I doing this to myself? Why do I keep doing this to myself? And I'm like, holy shit. Because I had just started and I was doing okay, you know. I was getting my legs, my sea legs underneath me, you know what I mean? And but he's sitting there going, why do I do this to myself? And you know, I knew him for years after that, and he just had persistence, you know. I don't know if he's doing it now anymore, but he was a nice guy. He was a nice guy, you know.
It's frightening to watch that, because it's almost like, especially if you're new and you're like, oh my God, is that what this is like? Like, am I just going to constantly question myself? And there's a lot of that, man.
I was going to say
that's such a fine line between confidence and delusion and arrogance. They're like right there. They're like, you know, they're like I don't know, like pens in a like just lying next to each other, and it's hard to pick out which one sometimes.
I was going to say that me and you
person is.
Yeah, me and you got very lucky that you know, you started just a little bit before me, but we were surrounded by some really cool people, you know what I mean, that had been in the business a long time, for good and for bad, you know what I mean? We saw it right in front of our face. We didn't have to search for it. We were there, you know. We didn't hear the stories, we made them. You know what I mean? All through these different, you know, the Levys and the Ottos and the Chips Coonies and the you know, all these different people that we were right there in the you know, think of it, making our way. So we had people to talk to. We had people to watch. Was a big thing. You know, it's if you don't want to talk to some person about it, you watch it.
Yeah, you watch. You don't watch.
Watch it and learn, he says.
Yeah, you don't watch and try to, you know, do their jokes, obviously.
No.
No, you're right. You watch and you see what they're doing, and you watch these guys. Because let me tell you something. When I first started, I always remembered. I mean, I was doing mics. You know, I was doing like 5 minutes, 7 minutes, and my first big goal was to do 20 minutes, because I used to go to these places where they were doing these showcases. They were like bars with a room in the back, and it was all these guys like Mike Morse and Otto and you know, a bunch of these dudes who were all doing 20-minute sets. And I was like, holy shit, to be able to do 20 minutes is just amazing. And you're watching the guys, and you're watching how they watching how they hold the mic, watching what they do with the mic stand. Because in the beginning, every single person that's ever done comedy, in the beginning, all you do is fumble with the fucking mic cord. That's all I did.
That's the first fucking thing I did when I got on stage.
You did.
I was trying. I thought
so.
You're taking the mic stand.
When we did that thing last month, I thought it was wireless. So when I grabbed the mic and realized it wasn't wireless, I was trying to pull the cable to me, and it wasn't fucking going. It was stuck on something. Or I actually think I was stepping on it, and I
probably stepping on it.
I didn't realize it.
Might have been right.
So, and I didn't realize it until I watched the video later. I'm like, what the fuck? Stop doing that. You look like a fucking amateur. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not a comic. What the fuck do I care?
Yeah, dude. And it's all those little things that you just start to get comfortable. You watch these guys that are pros. And I'll tell you, I say this, and I say this very humbly, but that's why, like, when we did our show, it was my friend who was brand new. He's only been doing it like 5 months. I put him on the show because, you know, it's like I would have, you know, I had a couple of guys that hooked me up and would help me out
exactly.
a little bit. And some
memories.
Guys will, you know, they'll be like, "Hey, dude, can I ask you a question?" And I'm never like, "Well, let me see if I can teach you something about this."
Sit down, boy. Sit down. Let me tell you exactly what you shall be doing all the time because I am the professional. Now,
exactly.
Like, man, Joey, come on up, you know, do it. But you know, hey, but see, to wrap it up is, you know, you have these the shit gigs. We got lucky. Now you're doing these theaters, and then you're also doing these fucking. You're doing these fucking not massage part theaters. You know, is that a fucking fishbowl?
That's a faux pas. Jesus.
Wow.
Hey, a fucking place, a brand new VFW just opened. The one block over from my day job. Let's fucking go there and book some shit. Well, let's book some shit and go
Do
there.
something for sure.
Oh, I thought VFW is that code word for Jack Shack? The VFW.
No,
I thought you were talking about. I thought you were talking about a little buy me drinky over there. No, but an actual venue for comedy. Yeah, let's do it. I thought you were like. I thought you were going to say a brand new nail salon opened up, and there's 17 Chinas in there waiting to get their papers.
There's a sign outside that says, "You have a band? We have a brand new room." And I saw it a couple of days ago. So it made me think of. I was like, "Fuck! I should talk to Joe and Kenny about
probably new sound system." Yeah.
Oh yeah. Brand new. They just redid everything in there. It's all brand new.
Nice. All right, I'm going to change the subject a little real quick.
No, go ahead.
Yes, I have a Rob Zombie story that Joe. I don't know if I told you about it. Probably don't remember. This is probably about 10 years ago when I worked for Rob Zombie for a day.
Okay.
Well, what reminded me yesterday is there's 17 birdhouses around this yard. Really, it's like a fucking, it's like Shawshank in prison. They're all on the trees pointing down at me. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're all right. They're all rifle spots.
Some birds' feathers are just too bright.
Yeah.
Sorry. All right. Go ahead.
Yeah. Are you? If I go ahead with this thing, you have to be. Just give me that chance. Okay.
Just give me that chance.
Just give me that. Bang. Anyways.
Go ahead.
So I'm sitting there and I'm having a smoke because yesterday the Mets started at noon and then the Yankees were at 4. I was watching ball games all day, like I'm going to watch tonight. I got the Knicks playing now, and the Yankees are in Seattle. So I'm all set up for the night. Anyways, I'm sitting there and I'm looking at these birds, and the mother bird and the father bird are coming in and they're feeding them. And there's like 4 heads popping out of this thing. You know what I mean? Almost like a Muppet show. You know what I mean? These big, wide-mouthed birds. And it reminded me of a story, and I told my mother it. She came out because my sister and my niece came over to help with the garden stuff. Anyways, and it reminded me of a great story. We all know Rob Zombie, right?
Yeah. Of course.
Joey, the king of one of the kings of horror, more human than human rock star.
We know he is. We get it.
Yeah.
We know his music.
Okay,
he's also a big horror movie. Yeah, he's directed some
horror movies.
Yeah,
and he's about my height, but about it's very very thin. Maybe a little taller, but he looks the part. He's got the salt and pepper like dreads. You know what I mean? The big huge beard, and so it was a funny thing because you think Rob Zombie, you think you think Ozzy was. Yeah, but it's still gore. You know what I mean? You think of Ozzy, you think him biting off a bat. You know what I mean? A bat's head or something like that. And you think of Rob Zombie, you think gore and thing. And the funny thing is now I get there and we're having a meeting. It's me, Rob Zombie, a few other guys, and his chef that travels with him. Okay?
Okay.
2 different venues. And now it's my job, hospitality, is I have to connect me and the chef of what his menu is going to be. I got to take the chef to go shopping for Rob Zombie.
Yeah.
Yep.
He is now, for the king of horror, he is 1,000% vegan. Like vegan, nothing.
Wow.
It's got to be completely vegan with no exceptions. That's why he pays the chef, $10,000 a show to cook for his. It gets better. The king of horror. The king of horror. Yes. Yeah. So I'm watching these birds, and then in the place where we had the meeting was outside the kitchen of the venue, and there's a big light that is over the top of the security thing, like a dome light kind of a thing, and there's a bird nest, sparrows or whatever it had made a nest. And there was about 5 or 6 babies that are coming out of there. So now your pre thought of Marilyn Manson is correct. Marilyn Manson is fucking psychotic. You know what
Okay.
I mean?
Right.
Marilyn Manson is everything you think Marilyn Manson is.
Right.
Okay. Rob Zombie, I'm assuming Rob Zombie is going to be the same way.
Right.
A horror guy, metal thing like that.
Yeah.
When I tell you, we may get his menu. We're gonna go shopping, and by the time we got back, this motherfucker could not. He was almost late for the show to go on stage because he was playing with the fucking baby birds. The master of horror is taking fucking selfies. He's trying to feed him. He's trying to feed him wasabi noodles, like fucking vegan food to the birds. You know, he's sitting there, and he's my height, but it was above me, so we had to get him a chair. We had to get him 2 chairs so he could stand and take pictures into the nest. And he barely even ate dinner because he was playing with the baby birds the whole time.
So
And you're like,
concerned about the birds.
he fucking loved him. He's calling his mom, telling her about taking pictures of it, sending it around. He's like, you gotta sit. I'm right there next to him. You know what I mean? And the guy looks. He has eye makeup on. He looks like he's going to chew a head off a skeleton. You know what I mean? You know?
Yeah.
And he's sitting there going, look at this. Oh, there they go. There's the mom and the dad. Whoa.
Yeah.
You know?
Isn't
So
that great?
I saw the baby birds, and it reminded me of that story where I'm like, you fuck. You
I love
you sandbagger. You Marilyn Manson? Not a sandbagger.
I love that, man. I love when you see that, like, and that was also with and I don't want to, but with Otto, like, people thought of Otto because he was, because of his comedy, and he was so dark and he was hilarious. And then you go to his house, and I always tell this to people. I say, yeah, you go to his house, he's wearing an apron and he's making sauce. And I'm like, this is the Prince of Darkness. He's asking me to taste the sauce. Hey, you know, your parents are greaseballs. How about if I give you a little Tupperware container?
Your parents are
and,
greaseball.
Yeah, he would be like, oh yeah,
I'm trying.
Give me a little Tupperware of this sauce. Hey, let your mother and father know, and tell me what
He
they
loved-
think.
He loved making split pea soup. Like, who the fuck makes split pea soup? It was like a ham hock was in it.
Kenny talking about Rob Zombie, that reminds me of like I don't know, last year or something like that, when like the new Mary Poppins movie came out, and I saw a commercial for it, and I texted my wife and said, I have to see this fucking movie. I love the first one from when I was a kid, and she was like, I thought you were a big tough wrestler guy.
You're Mary Poppins. You're Dick Van Dyke.
Like, I can't wait.
Julie Andrews.
I had to see it the first fucking day it came out.
It's fucking great.
Yeah.
I love when people. I love when people have a thing like you think,
and you know what,
do something,
and
they go somewhere else, not on purpose, but that's just who they are.
No, and I don't take it. I don't take it as being vulnerable. I take it as being genuine. You know what I mean? Yeah. Someone like a Rob Zombie. He likes fucking baby birds. You know what I mean? You don't have to be.
I don't want to know about his sex life, dude.
But you know what it is?
Yeah.
and you know what it is, dude? You know what it shows? It shows that he's
confidence and
he's a performer. And it's like Alice Cooper. Alice Cooper is a perfect example, although he was a raging alcoholic for a long time.
Seeing him for the first time in September. I've never seen him before. I'm going to see him in September.
Oh, okay.
He's with
Priest.
Priest, yeah, Judas Priest. Yeah. Yes,
that's why I'm going, because they're my favorite band. Alice Cooper.
Big show. That's a big show, Joey. That's a big one.
Well, I got.
Where's it at?
I've seen. It's at PNC.
PNC. All right.
I've seen Priest. Yeah, I've seen Priest on the floor a fucking 1,000 times. Give me my $30 lawn seat fucking ticket. I'm good with that.
PNC, you're close enough. You're good. Yeah, that's a good show.
Sure.
Yeah, Alice Cooper, he's fucking, the way what he portrayed, and then as it scaled, as time went on, he's fucking wearing golfing shorts. He's fucking, he's religious. He's fucking,
I love that.
But he's still,
that shit, man. I think it's cool.
Yeah, there was another one, like the lead singer of it's been a while, Stained.
Yeah,
what's his name? Aaron Lewis. He was another one where he's in Stained, but he came through the venue.
Didn't he do like country or something like that?
With his country stuff, yeah. He would do some acoustic Stained. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And crowd loved it. It was great. And he came out
that's
and
what got him in the door. He plays that shit to get him in the door, and then
they invented that band because they put the pieces together. but he always wanted to do country. So he's there, and the bus door opens, and we're throwing a football around. And he comes out and he goes, "Hey, is this where the cool kids hang out?" And vroom, I threw him a BB right there, vroom. And he's sitting there punting it, kicking it. You know what I mean? Just hanging out. And you're like, these are the cool dudes, you know. But you know,
Dude,
to see a vulnerability
was like. That's how it was like. Like I've heard shit about how Scott Stapp is a fucking jerk off or whatever. But that show that
I worked with him too
when I was there a couple years ago. Remember my buddy's band opened and you I met you there for what we hung out a little bit or whatever. He was fucking great. He came on my buddy's bus. We were hanging out for a couple minutes. You know, he introduced himself to everybody. He was fucking great.
That's
but
cool.
I've always heard like how he's such a fucking dick.
Yeah, but I think
you know,
he had a lot of problems in the late '90s when they were huge. I think it was an alcoholic. And
he was, I believe so.
Yeah, and you mix that with massive amounts of fame. Sometimes it kind of messes people up, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. But you know, when it boils down to it, here's a perfect example, and this is for people that I might get a little rocky-ish here. Okay, I might get a little cool-ish here, right here.
Okay,
is people that might seem vulnerable or feel vulnerable or think that they aren't worth it, or you know, we talk about doing comedy and doing wrestling and being in the limelight. You know, not rich and famous. You know what I mean?
No,
but being in a situation where not many people can do. And you have to realize is that you know we all put our pants on the same way. You know, the only difference between me, John F. Kennedy, Genghis Khan, and Hitler is motivation and time. We're flesh and blood. You know what I mean? We could all do the same thing. And now here is why. It's because my mother is watching the papacy, the new pope, right?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And they're having, when I tell you, man, you want to talk about a Marilyn Manson video, you go watch a pope. You go watch a pope video. There, I mean, 6 foot, like, Ku Klux Klan, dark black hats, like paganistic shit, and you know, swinging incense, swinging and shit. And you're like, this getup, this don't feel like Jesus of Nazareth shit. This feels like some eyes wide shut shit. You know what I mean? But you can do whatever you. Here's my point. It's kind of I hope it's funny. Is that the Pope is an American.
Right.
And you know, the Pope, one of the most powerful men in the world, one of the most influential men in the world, the Pope, the papacy, the whole thing. And they found video of him at the 2011 Chicago White Sox World Series chugging beers.
Oh, really?
He's just a regular guy,
right? Yeah, he's
he's a Chicago White Sox fan.
That's hilarious.
They got him eating a pretzel, slugging a beer, game 6 with a fucking White Sox jersey. You know, you think of the Pope, you think of 700 years of influential, you know. Why, my mic wrong?
No, go ahead.
No, you're good.
Oh, no, you think of, you know, 500-700 years, whatever it is, how long the papacy's been around, of these influential men, you know, they've taken down dictators. The Vatican's its own country, you know. Vatican is probably one of the richest countries in the world, and it's only a mile wide. You know what I mean? But it's the papacy. If I say papacy one more time, punch me in the face. Punch me in my papacy.
I would like to punch you right in your papacy, yeah. But
but
dude,
we're having a papal conversation.
It's just funny because when you think of the Pope, you think of these people like since birth they've been wearing this weird cloth and they've been these, and now you're like, wait a minute, this guy, he's a fucking White Sox fan.
He's slugging down sausage sandwiches and a cheese fucking curds and the South Side of Chicago, 2011. You know what I mean?
Aku said the last Pope once said, "Whiskey is the true holy water."
Yeah. You know, but it goes for anybody could be anything. Like, I don't think. Well, they say that when he was a young kid, I think his name's Leroy or something. Larry. I think it's Larry.
Leo. Pope
Leo.
Leo.
Pope Leo, Larry. Same shit.
I made the joke. That's why I said Uncle Leo from Seinfeld. That should be.
That's right.
From the honeymoon.
When he would play, you know, instead of like playing like being a fireman, he was always the priest. You know what I mean?
Right.
What's his name? Chan, great comic. Jimmy Chu? Is it Jimmy Chu? He's from Tennessee. He's a Chinese guy.
Margaret Cho?
He was no Jimmy Chu.
No. Margaret Cho.
Anyways, he goes. He's got a southern accent. He's from Tennessee. He's like, when I was always growing up, you see a Chinese guy with a southern accent, and when we would play Cowboys and Indians, I was always the cook.
Yes, I know that guy. Yes, he's been around forever.
Jimmy
yes.
Chu is he's been around forever.
Yeah.
Great line.
Asian guy with a fucking with a southern accent. Yeah.
But the Pope, they would play cops and robbers. He always wanted to be a priest, so I can see he was bred for it. As long as his background is not blemished with anything, it's okay. But just the sheer fact that the guy likes baseball, he likes sausages. Hey, it's Harry Carey here, and I'm up in heaven, and it's baseball season, folks. Hey, and did you hear? We have a new purple leader, the guy with the big hats. You could fit 7 beers in that hat. Hey. Too bad he's a fan of the Sox. He's not a Cubbies fan. He's on the other side of town, and now he's on the other side of the water. Keep that. Hey, keep that Pope far away from Wrigley Field as possible, folks. Hey. I'll see him when he's up here in heaven having a giant hot dog with him.
That's good, man. You haven't pulled out the hat in a long ass time.
Wow, I haven't done it in a long time.
Oh shit!
Hey, I like your White Sox jersey, Your Excellency.
I like your White Sox jersey, Your Excellency. That's good. All right. Let's get to our final bit of the show. I like your White Sox jersey, Your Excellency.
Excellent.
Okay, Shawnee, do you have the intro?
That hat's got to hold 7 beers.
You can pick any of them that you like. And if anybody is in the chat listening now that has any, you can chime in. And we're going to play our final bit of the show. And go ahead, Shawnee.
This is David Ingram from the death metal, noisy, shouty type of thing. Also formerly of the show Metal Breakfast Radio. Yes, you may remember that. I hardly can, we were always pissed. Anyway, and now, the Conte and Kenny Show, after more than an hour of utter nonsense and stupidity. They ask the question, what the hell do we call this episode? Utter shite, if you ask me.
All right. So we will start. Joey, do you have you got a couple?
Now,
do we have I asked Shawnee if he could play some background music. Do you have any do you have the background music? Can you play it?
I have a bunch of titles.
Okay.
Loud.
Go ahead. You want to start? Go ahead, you go with one.
So the first one, if you say it in your head, it sounds like the tune to Janie's Crying. Kenny's Dialing.
Kenny's dialing. Wow.
Yep.
Yep. I like it.
I got
Kenny's dialing.
I have Conte and Kenny, The Cure for Rickets.
Ah, fuck. That was my next one.
Go ahead.
Okay. That was my next one, The Cure for Rickets. All right, so the one after that is, how does it sound, Mike?
Hey, Mike, how's my Joe sound? Hey, Mike, how's my Joe sound?
How's my Joe sound? Here, I got one. A blowjob in a Fuddruckers parking lot.
In Secaucus. In Secaucus.
That's a good
I
one.
didn't do Secaucus.
All right, my next one is Packing a Hat with Rocks.
What is it?
Packing a hat.
Back in the hat with the yogurt.
That's good. I have pug dog breathing, which is good. I like that. Pug dog breathing. Go ahead.
Mine from that point was just Kenny the pug dog.
Gotcha. Kenny the pug dog. Dr. Kenny and the nasal sprays, which sounds like a fucking band.
Nice.
Oh
my god, dude, we are on the same fucking page. I have Dr. Michaels, the nasal king.
I like that one too. Hold on.
Very
We
nice.
have a couple in the chat. Let me just boo Richard Patterson, my friend Rich. Booze and bread, amen, which I like. A coup, side effects may vary, and I need a new drug. I like this. Go ahead.
There you go.
You got one?
Mike Morse code for dummies.
I put Morse code for that.
Morse code.
Morse code.
Yeah, Morse code. Morris.
My next one is Theater Joe.
Theater Joe, I like that. I have Liberace Conti. Again, he called him Liberace.
That's a fucking great one. Winston Churchill goes to the theater.
Oh, I love
Theater,
that.
nice.
Oh, that's great.
Nice.
Winston Churchill goes to the theater. Yeah,
Theater.
But it has to have ATE in all capitals, so when people read it, they
Yeah.
say
when
it that
people
way.
read
in
it,
their
they
head.
say theater, not theater.
Yeah,
Exactly.
right.
Conti went from Disney to Action Park, which is really
That's a good one too.
Or was Disney? I had Disney in a
Disney
ball
to
pit
Action
at
Park.
McDonald's.
Yeah, Disney and a ball pit at McDonald's.
Yeah.
So my
Action Park, good.
next one is just a bunch of dashes and periods, like Morse code. Doesn't
Oh,
have to mean
okay.
it's just
I
a
like
bunch
that. That's funny.
Punctuation.
That's funny. Fast acting tenacity, which I think is good.
My next one is, why does E.C. Winkler keep doing this to himself?
Yeah. Story.
Oh my God, that's great.
Great story.
I have Rob Zombie and the Baby Birds. This is like my second
Yeah.
band. fucking
That's
sounding.
a great fucking
Yeah.
band name. I have Kenny Michaels, Hitler, and Genghis Khan walk into a bar.
Let me see. Oh fuck. I like your White Sox jersey, Your Excellency. That's gotta be the fuck.
I have that one
too.
too. I have two other ones besides that, but that's the last one I have. I also have
fucking Aku has one, and it's the same thing. It's all dots, dashes, and fucking slashes, and dots, dashes.
Yeah, that's what I wrote down. I also have Pope Chicago sausage.
I like that.
Yeah.
And then
Good.
My last one is Papal People.
Papal
People.
people.
Yeah,
That's clever. I like that.
Papal People.
Papal people. That's fucking good, man. All right.
Let's go get some
We
Popish
both came up
sausage.
with a lot of good ones. Pope
Yeah.
Chicago sausage. We both came up with a lot of good ones tonight.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I particularly like the fucking Winston Churchill and why does E.C. Winkler keep doing this to himself?
It's good. Oh my God. All right.
I would love for him to see that title. What the fuck?
Yeah, that would be interesting. Yeah.
Hey, when they ask the Pope what hat he wants, they're like, "Do you want the yarmulke or you want the deep dish?"
Oh, I see what you did there. Yes.
Oh, I didn't want to say something. I didn't want to say it too loud.
Yes. Well, before I just do my ending, I forgot. The show is and was sponsored by thegoods.fun. Like thegoods.fun on Facebook, or just go to thegoods.fun. It's got great products featuring stunning photography, vibrant designs, and unique
Great
collections.
products.
Yep. It's all my wife's nature photos, and she puts them on all these great products like beach towels and aprons and bags, clocks, shower curtains, journals. And there's also a spot with some Conte and Kenny stuff. And there's also a collections with the honeymooner stuff. But go to thegoods.fun and check out some really cool shit. And you can order something, and you would help my wife out. So, all right.
Yes, you like it.
Ronnie, let's start the music because I want to get out of here. I didn't even have dinner, but
Neither did I.
Yeah, I didn't even have dinner yet. But all right, who can we thank? First of all you guys in the chat, Aku,
Mr. Rogers.
Yep, Doopa Doopa Doo, My pal Rich Patterson Jr. was in there. Oh, Toto Payne Diaz, of course.
Larry the new Pope.
Larry the new Pope. Harrison
That's a
Scott
fucking episode
was in there.
title too.
Yeah, Larry the new Pope. Everybody who listens in podcast, thank you. And don't forget to leave us a voicemail, 572-888-6116.
I really want them to do that.
Yeah,
I
You know,
do.
just to,
absolutely.
you can be anonymous. Tell us who you
we
are.
had-
Just say hello.
we had
you
fun
know?
with that shit when we were in the studio.
Yes, we did.
Absolutely.
We did. It was a lot of fun. They can call anytime, 24 hours a day.
Absolutely. Leave the voicemail. We'll play it on the air. And don't forget to give the episode a quick like if you're listening or watching on Facebook. It helps bring traffic to the network. Subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell so you never miss a live show. Thank you, of course, to Shawnee, our wonderful producer. And if you want, give us our Conte and Kenny Facebook page a like, Instagram, TikTok, and my social media is Joe Conte Comic. Joey's is the real Joey Image, and Kenny.
Just
you're
mine
actually
is the
on
Kenny.
Mine is the Fuddruckers in Seacaucus.
All right, that's it, everybody. Yes, Raven Knight, take care. Thank you, Raven Knight. Raven Knight just gave us the take care. Thank you. So for everybody,
The
thank
first
you
thing
so
you said
much.
the whole time.
And we end each show the same way our pal, the late great Otto Peterson, would always say goodbye, and that is take care.